It is currently 3:56. This is KDNK, Carbondale Community Access Radio, Glenwood Springs, Carbondale, the Roaring Fork Valley, and beyond.
You are listening to the Andy Zanca Youth Empowerment Program.
Coming up at 4:30 is Geek Speak, where KDNK's technology nerds answer all your computer-related questions.
Kind of like Car Talk, but with computers.
Yeah.
Hey there, Ty the Rayman, here along with J-Bone, Jeremy, and NC Awesome. We are so glad to be here. We have a couple of things in common. We obviously are all DJs for the Andy Zanca Youth Empowerment Program, but we also attend Basalt Middle School. In case you haven't heard, BMS was just recently recognized and awarded with the Colorado Trailblazers and National Schools to Watch for the second time, which is huge, people. We are also lucky to have right here in the studio with us our incredible principal, Mr. Jeremy Voss, to tell us a bit more about that awesome award. We know that out of the 13,000 middle schools in the United States, and only 350 were recognized, which means we are in the top 2%, and that is pretty cool. This is Mr. Voss's 7th year as principal at Basalt Middle School. He is originally from Grand Junction and attended Colorado State University. His growth mindset has brought him far, including being a presenter in Washington, D.C. at a forum to improve middle-level education. And we are glad that it brought him to BMS. He also is a great dad of 2 kids, and he really enjoys fishing. We are so privileged to call him our principal. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you for the awesome introduction, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's Tyler's specialty. Awesome introductions.
Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Voss, can you explain to our listeners what exactly the National Schools to Watch Award means?
Yeah, the Schools to Watch Award is basically a confirmation that we're working on the right stuff at Basalt Middle School. You kind of get your foot in the door with the organization through great growth scores, and that's something that Basalt Middle School has achieved over the last 6-7 years, and so it led to our first recognition and got our foot in the door for the second. And then once you get noticed by this organization, they bring a team in and they come through your school. They do an observation in every classroom, interview parents, kids, and faculty members as well as administration, basically around some really important items to me, like social equity, things like access to education, high-level instruction happening in classrooms, a student body that is basically really works hard, behaves well, is nice to one another. And so after looking in on all those things, they bring it back to their national board. They look at all the information that they gather, and then they make recommendations from there. And Basalt Middle School, for the second time, was recognized with that National Forum Schools to Watch recognition, and we'll be honored to be able to go back to Washington, D.C. I will, with the crew of teachers, to learn from the other schools to watch and share some of the awesome things that our kids do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good answer. Yeah. So we students hear about growth mindset frequently at our school. Can you tell the listeners exactly what that means?
Yeah, that was one of the things that led to us being recognized, is having a growth mindset culture and doing a lot of things to really make sure that, whether it's parents, students, teachers, have that mindset as they go about their work and their business and their schooling. Growth mindset basically is a belief that if you work hard at something, you can get good at it. And so there are 4 things when you ask people, why they achieve something. Some people will, with a growth mindset, will say, hey, it was my effort, and they can point to the things that they did along the way that led to their achievement. Other people really link it to talent, like something that's innate, or luck, or the people around them. And we want to make sure that we make that strong link between effort and working hard, and that's what leads to success. And make sure that everyone who leaves Basalt Middle School has that confidence and self-belief in themselves, that they can be who they want to be if they're willing to put in the time.
There are a lot of inspirational quotes posted in our school. I'm not talking about 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm talking about upper hundreds, lower thousands. Can you tell us your favorite?
I can tell you my favorite word. My favorite word is the word yet. Y-E-T. Kids have probably heard that quite a bit.
Yes, a lot.
And when I hear a student say, I can't get this, and then I hear their friends around them say, yet, you can't get it yet, and then point them in the right direction, those are the moments that make me feel like we're in a special place. One of my favorite little stories about growth mindset is watching our 7th grade girls volleyball team, and they were playing in one of their first practices trying to learn how to spike. And when you first start doing something, you shouldn't really expect to be good at something, right? But that's when we often get the most frustrated. And there was a girl who had driven about 5 consecutive spikes up into the rafters of the gym. And finally, she just belted out, I can't do this. And then you hear the entire girls' team in line behind her yell out, yet, you can't do it yet. Keep working at it. And that's the type of culture that I want to work in and be in, where we support each other to give our best effort and to learn things that are hard for us.
Okay, what do you think it is that sets our school apart from the other middle schools in the nation?
I think it's that culture and that emphasis on making sure that it's a great place to work and learn, and to make sure as best we can that every student every day meets up with an academic challenge and has to struggle, and that within that we realize that getting feedback on things that are tough is the way that we get better. And if we always choose things that are easy, we're really not going to get good at anything. And so I see a student body that's really empowered, takes ownership of their education, and wants to learn. And so, I think one of the telltale signs is how many kids in our school advocate for themselves when they feel like there could be something that's improved. It's just a very open community, and I really feel good working there.
Yeah. And what do you mean by the term school's culture?
School culture? I guess when I use that term, I think of the way that we treat each other. When you walk in the door, does it feel like a good place to be? I think visually I have to credit our art teacher, Ms. Jones, for making sure that artwork and colors and just beautiful stuff is posted all over our walls. And so right when you walk into Basalt Middle School, people tend to remark on that. They tend to smile, and that initial impression is one that that portends a really nice school culture. And then beyond that, when you dig a little deeper, I think, into our school culture, then you get to the growth mindset stuff, where we're a school that works hard, that brings it every day.
All right. So at BMS, we talk a lot about compassion and being nice, and you put those things right up there with effort and basically schoolwork. Can you tell the listeners why compassion is just as important, if not more important, than, say, a test score or daily assignment?
I think it comes from being a dad and thinking about my own kids. My most important goal for my own 2 kids, when people ask me what I want them to be, my answer is I just want them to be good people first. And so that's my main goal for them, is that they know how to care for each other. They know how to care more about the world around them. And so, we were driving out to Las Vegas, and if anyone's been out to Las Vegas, went to Disneyland over break, and there were all these paper bags, and the outside of Vegas is just trashed. And we stopped over for a bathroom break, and they looked at me and said, Dad, can we clean this up? And I just, that made me feel really good that they're adopting that, thinking more just outside of themselves. And when I think of what it takes to be successful in the world, the most important thing is that you're a kind, good person who can get along with others, can work hard on a team, can collaborate. Those types of skills are just as important as answering a question within a content area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, about the Las Vegas pickup trash, I'm sure me, J1 Jeremy, and Ty the Rayman will be sure to pick up all the trash we see on the Las Vegas band trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring rubber gloves.
Okay, I'll add that to my packing list.
All right. So, basically, if everyone on the planet showed a bit more compassion, our world would definitely be a better place.
Yep. Two things that I ask myself every day I go home are, what do you mess up today, and what do you need to do to make it right? Because I think we all need to realize and give ourselves room to make mistakes, but it's on us to own it and to fix it. And so, that's what compassion is to me. Like, whether you created the problem yourself and you need to take it upon yourself to help out, or if you see a situation where someone's hurting or someone's having a tough time. When Basalt Middle School students go out of the way to be nice and to lend a helping hand, just makes me feel good.
Yeah. And can you tell us a bit about the work ethic at BMS?
The work ethic?
Yeah.
That little academic all-stars piece, I think, has helped out, where we really try to shine a light on effort every week. And some ideas that all came from teachers about, hey, what if we track learning this way, and what if we send a robo-dial home to parents to involve them in it? And so once a week, our parents either hear a call about, hey, your kid's an academic all-star or really working hard in the classroom, give them a high five for their efforts, or your child's on the missing work list, and then the message focuses on strategies and how can we learn from those mistakes by taking advantage of our homework help program to make sure that when we do trip up, that there's a safety net and that students know what to do when they do need to work a little bit harder. And so really defining those strategies for students, because I think we all want to work hard, but some of us just need some more direction into what does that look like. And so by making that really specific in middle school, so that by the time students get to high school, they know what work ethic is. They know what those strategies are. They know how to study. They know how to buckle down and set aside an hour every night to attend to schoolwork. Those sorts of habits, what we're calling the habits of a scholar, are the types of things that really lead to a great work ethic.
Yeah, I am one of the few people who can be lucky enough to say that I didn't. You see, my mom normally teaches a newspaper class on the days at the school, on the days that the RoboDial comes home, so I normally get that. And I am lucky enough to say that I didn't even find out what the missing work list phone call sounded like until halfway through this year.
Well, kudos to you.
Okay, can you tell us what kind of student you were during your middle school years?
I was a very competitive student, I would say. I had an older brother that was an extremely high achiever, and I set an example that I really wanted to model and surpass. And so I guess I was always kind of known as a teacher pleaser and someone who really wanted to work hard. My mother was a principal in Grand Junction, where I grew up, and so there wasn't a whole lot of wiggle room for me either. So I think I really benefited from a household that set those expectations around work ethic and compassion. I just had some parents, some family around me that set that example, so that in middle school I tended to work really hard.
Nice.
So now that BMS has been honored twice with the National Schools to Watch Award, how do you plan on maintaining that growth mindset and continuing the high standards for the students as well as the staff?
It really rests with myself on the vision and mission and making sure that it stays a priority. On teachers to make sure that we include strategies like having students track their progress to the standards and then linking back when they are successful to those efforts. But more than anything else, it rests with the students. In here, you guys are all going to be upperclassmen next year at Basalt Middle School. Our 8th grade and 7th grade students really need to be the ones that set that example. And particularly for our 5th grade students and our 6th grade students coming in, of creating that culture from day one of next year that this is how we do business and go about it. And we work hard and we're nice. And to have 8th graders that are really compassionate with our 5th graders really keeps that ball rolling.
Okay, so one final question that is completely unscripted, so I might mess up once or twice. No, I'm kidding. So I was told by one of my many sources that as an April Fool's joke, one of the 5th grade classes hid the academic all-star trophies from you, and you had to use your growth mindset and go on a treasure hunt to find them.
Yes, I, for 2 weeks before spring break, had started a program where we were doing a lot of recognition with these totally, I don't even know how to describe what they look like. Trophies that we took out of our trophy case from a long, long time ago that are painted and decorated, and we recognize our top homeroom classes with academic all-star rates. And I had failed to deliver them as I was running about my business. And one particular class that should have received them became a little frustrated with their own principal's mistakes, which certainly happens. And so they hid them, and they wrote on their clues all around the building, growth mindset clues, all about my effort and the perseverance that I would need to find them. I've located 4 out of 5. By Thursday, I need to deliver them yet again, and so they are really relishing my desperation as I'm trying to locate my trophies. So, one of the things I really believe is that when you can mock an idea, like they have so shown, or that they can mock, that they really own it. And so I look at this as another sign that's a little bit of fun as I'm running around looking for it, but they certainly own the idea of growth mindset to be able to write poetry about it and hide trophies to build their principal's perseverance to deliver them on time.
Well, I certainly hope that the clue that you are currently looking for has not been stumbled upon by another student and mysteriously vanished.
Well, if that's the case, please return it to 51 School Street. Attention, Jeremy Voss. I would really appreciate locating it.
Well, Mr. Voss, we cannot thank you enough for taking the time to join us and talk about the National Schools to Watch 2015 award given to Basalt Middle School. It was great having you on the show.
All right, thanks, guys. Very appreciative, and also love that you're rocking the sounds from my 8th grade year, and coming into Every Rose Has Its Thorn brought back some memories from when I was in 8th grade. So, thank you much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming.
Congratulations on the award.
Yep. Thank you much.
All right.